What's good, family? It's your boy Big L. There's just so much going on in regards to the things that are affecting directly, specifically, and exclusively black people. Now, when I say things are affecting black folks specifically and exclusively, there are certain things that are absolutely isolated towards blacks. You can have a school, okay? And in that school, you can have 100 students, okay? 100 students. You can have 25 Latinos, 25 Asians, 25 whites, and 25 blacks, okay? Four different groups in this school. And the curriculum that is being taught is going to affect each group differently, okay? How each group responds, accepts, acknowledges, receives that particular curriculum is going to be different based off from group to group. Now, you can even go down further and break it down into subgroups underneath those particular racial classes, like maybe gender or family structure and family dynamics. But I want to keep it purely from a race standpoint, because I think what it has get lost in translation is this notion that every racial group is experiencing the same thing underneath this Americanized culture. And the reality of it is, black people, based off of the injustices that they have affected in this, been, perpetrated against or on or preyed upon in this country, their issues are specific and exclusive. Just the same way that the LGBT community's issues are specific and exclusively to them. Hispanics, specifically and exclusively to them. But here's where the conundrum takes place. When you are a black person and you begin to speak out specifically and exclusively about black issues, you lose so much. You lose family, you lose friends, you lose so many different things there. Now, if you are a member of the LGBT community and you begin to speak out about particular issues, you gain things. If you're Hispanic and you begin to you gain. If you're Asian, you gain. Black folks are the only one who begin to lose. This country is so, and people in general in this country are so anti-black that standing up for black paints you as a enemy. This country, and I don't think people realize how anti-black this country is. It is so anti-black. That when you begin to stand up, not in a hateful manner, not in a manner in which you are galvanizing people for violence, or you're galvanizing people to forsake moral responsibility, that you're asking them to somehow rid themselves of any value system that protects life in general. No one's doing those things. But when you begin to speak up and out against, for black empowerment, that makes black folks, white folks, Asians, and every other racial group very uncomfortable. There's something scary to this world when it comes to empowered black people. There's something that strikes a deep-seated fear into people when you begin to talk about black people unifying collectively and focusing squarely on their issues, which are specific and exclusive to them. There's something powerful about that, but that strikes fear deep, deep into the heart of this doggone country. So while so many of us are getting pumped up, frustrated, and angry over a damn flag, and since that flag incident, there has been an overabundance of white folk with Confederate flags. It's like, since we got pissed off about the flags, flag sales went up, more people got flags and decided to hang them, even knowing that that flag is directly linked to the oppression of black people. So they waved that flag as a form of saying, fuck you, I don't care about what we've done to you. But our response to that is to continue to fight the flag. We fight the flag instead of attacking the very system that has allowed that flag to be waved in the first place. But see, we want to run and have white folks recognize their injustices towards us. And by acknowledging their injustices, somehow they're going to say, here's equality, here's power, here's wealth, here's influence. Take it, because we're so sorry. Man, listen, that ain't never, ever going to happen. And here's the reason why. That goes completely counter to our human nature. No one who has ever been in power has willfully given that power over to somebody else to make that other person equal footing to where they are. That just doesn't happen. So instead of black folks begging non-blacks to accept our plight and to join into the fight, why not galvanize those black people who are aware and awake and willing to fight for black empowerment? Why not galvanize those people? Instead of being so focused on shaming non-blacks into somehow coming to save us. We don't need that. We have every ounce of ability and empowerment within us to get us out of the situation. But what needs to take place, though? So we have the hashtag Black Lives Matter. I'm not anti-Black Lives Matter because I believe that Black lives do matter. But prayers, protests, and hashtags do not equal black empowerment. Prayer plus protests plus hashtag does not equal black empowerment. What is going to equal black empowerment is a mindset that is shifted from focusing on everybody else's damn issues to get to a point where we decide that we're going to focus exclusively and specifically on black issues because we've already decided and understood that our issues are completely separate from everybody else. Then when we take a hard look collectively at those things, we realize that 99.9% of the black issues is based off of our current socioeconomic status. And when we decide to say, I'm going to focus on that aspect, the socioeconomic issues, and build there with an exclusive and specific mentality, real change will take place. So when we see black folks disrupting political rallies and giving out stats and arguments about why Black Lives Matter, no authentic real change took place. What was happening is, and what continues to happen is, people are getting attention. It's attention behavior. And I'm not going to even be derogatory and say it's attention-seeking behavior and put it in that type of context where it can be misconstrued somehow that I am dogging or attacking that hashtag, that movement. But what I'm saying is clearly that hashtag is not going to change the current state of Black America. That hashtag ain't changed shit. And it will not change shit until we as a people decide that we're going to hold ourselves responsible, we're going to hold ourselves accountable, and we are going to fight for Black empowerment with an exclusive and specific mentality on dealing with our issues. That's where real change is going to take place, man. Because when you look around your cities that are predominantly Black, 9 times out of 10, you have a failing school system. Now, the problem is many of us don't know how to determine what is a failing school system. We want to attribute graduation rates as success. What the hell are they graduating with? We want to attribute college graduation as success. But what is happening is they're getting a high school diploma, a college diploma, and end up going and working in a non-Black environment. Because there's nothing here to sustain those people, Black folks who graduate from college, who are willing to and want to get involved in Black-owned companies and Black businesses. We have not fostered and created an environment where we are pushing our children to be creators of environment and culture outside of entertainment for the sustainment of our people. When every other race and ethnicity pushes that type of mentality. So you see a failing school system. You usually see a community that hasn't already been gentrified. It's currently being gentrified. And the sad reality of it is we've been conditioned to think that if we move people out of an environment and bring in rich, affluent white people, that somehow that is going to change the socioeconomic plight of those Black folks who are still there. So let's move all these Black people. You know, we'll sacrifice a whole bunch of them in order for the greater good of the people. We have to change the collective mentality, the collective mindset, to get to a point where we understand, man, hey, we as Black people have the power to make change. We have it. We don't need validation from other folks, and we don't need assistance from other people. And my refusal to accept assistance is not on some old hyper vigilance, hyper fear, or, you know, this fear that if we do allow non-Blacks to be involved in our movement, that somehow they're going to sabotage. Now, that's a strong possibility. We've seen it time and time again taking place. But there's something more important there, something incredibly empowering when you begin to make and solve your own problems yourself. There's a sense of pride that comes with that, man. A sense of pride. But we've been in such an emotional state for such a long time, man. Such an emotional state for such a long time. But unfortunately, we often think with just squarely with our emotions, or very little logic. We're so afraid of each other. Black folks are really afraid of each other, man. We're afraid of reaching out a hand and assisting each other. But I'm telling you, every time they kill one of us, that emotional outrage that we get doesn't accomplish anything. It hasn't stopped them from killing us. It hasn't stopped them. We have the power and the ability to make change. Are you ready for that? Are you one of the ones who are looking to make change? And I'm not trying to turn this this ending into some sort of recruitment video or recruitment segment, because no, the idea is here. And if you're ready to make change, get up off your behind, get involved, and make some damn change. Make change. Even if you can't make change on a sweeping wave of changes, begin to make change on a small level and watch the ripples. Watch the ripples take place, man. I love you. It's your boy Big L. Another quick forum blast, man. Take care of yourself. Black first.